Let me ask you something. After dinner, when you finally sit back and relax, do you ever think, I'll just have a little drink before bed? Maybe it's a glass of wine, a cup of tea, or a bit of soda. It feels harmless, doesn't it? But that one simple habit could be slowly hurting your brain. And now I'll show you the 7 drinks seniors should never have after dinner. My name is Dr. Chen, and welcome to WellnessStrong, where we can be healthy together. Let's picture what happens after dinner. Your body is preparing for one of its most important jobs of the day, repair and cleaning. During deep sleep, your brain actually flushes out waste, toxins, leftover chemicals, even damaged cells. It's like a nighttime housekeeping crew that sweeps through your brain, making room for clearer thinking, better memory, and sharper focus the next day. But if you've had alcohol, caffeine, or sugar-based drinks right before bed, it's as if you've locked that cleaning crew out of the building. The brain can't clean properly, and instead of waking up refreshed, you wake up tired and foggy, even if you slept 8 hours. When I explain this to my patients, they often look surprised. But I thought a glass of wine was good for the heart, they say. And yes, in moderation, at the right time of day, certain drinks can have benefits. The key phrase there is the right time of day. After dinner, your metabolism slows down, your liver is resting, and your brain is preparing for deep restoration. This is the worst possible time to introduce something that makes your organs work overtime. Let's make it real. Imagine your brain like a library full of books. During the night, little librarians, those are your brain's cleaning cells called glial cells, come out to tidy the shelves, put the books back in place, and throw away the garbage. But if you drink alcohol or sweet beverages before bed, it's like you've spilled sticky syrup all over the floor right before they start their shift. The librarians can't move around properly, and the mess just piles up night after night. Over time, that buildup shows up as forgetfulness, slower reaction times, and even mood changes. Now you might be thinking, but doctor, I've been doing this for years, isn't it too late? Absolutely not. The brain is one of the most forgiving organs we have. It loves a second chance. Even after decades of certain habits, once you stop feeding it the wrong things at the wrong time, it begins to heal. Your sleep becomes deeper. Your morning energy returns. You'll start noticing you can focus longer, recall names faster, and your mood feels lighter. So before we talk about what exactly those dangerous after-dinner drinks are, I want you to take this first step tonight. When you finish your meal, take a moment before you pour that next drink. Pause. Think of your brain. That incredible part of you that's been keeping your memories, your wisdom, your stories. It deserves a calm, clean night's rest. Don't drown it with something that makes its job harder. A small change made tonight can give you a clearer, sharper morning tomorrow. And once you understand this first part, the next section, the after-dinner trap, will make even more sense. Because we'll uncover the everyday habits that seem relaxing but actually set your brain up for trouble while you sleep. Let's talk about something I see in almost every senior patient, the after-dinner trap. It's that cozy moment when the day winds down, the dishes are done, and you finally get to relax. You sit in your favorite chair, maybe turn on the TV, and think, I've earned a little drink before bed. Maybe it's a small glass of wine, a warm cup of tea, or a splash of soda. It feels harmless, even comforting. But after 60, your body changes. What used to relax you now quietly robs your brain of the deep rest and repair it desperately needs. Here's what I mean. Take that glass of wine, for example. I often hear, Doctor, I only have one. It helps me sleep. And it's true, alcohol can make you drowsy at first. But inside your body, it's doing the opposite of what you want. A few hours after drinking, your liver kicks in to break down the alcohol. Your heart rate rises, your blood sugar drops, and your brain snaps out of deep sleep. You might stay in bed all night, but your brain never gets to the stage where it clears waste and restores memory. That's why so many seniors wake up tired, groggy, or foggy even after what seemed like a good night's sleep. Then there's caffeine. And yes, even in decaf. A single cup of tea or decaf coffee can still contain enough caffeine to block a chemical in your brain called adenosine. That's the signal that tells your brain it's time to slow down and rest. When caffeine blocks that signal, your brain stays alert long after your body is ready for bed. And as we age, caffeine takes longer to leave the body. What used to clear in 4 hours can now linger for 8 or more. So that relaxing cup of tea before bed may still be buzzing through your system at midnight, keeping your brain half awake. And those fizzy or sweet drinks, the sodas, juices, or flavored beverages, might seem innocent, but they do their own kind of harm. When you drink sugar late in the evening, your blood sugar spikes just as your metabolism slows down. Your body releases insulin to clean up the excess sugar, but that sudden surge keeps your brain active and restless. Instead of resting, your brain stays in overdrive trying to balance your blood sugar. The next morning, you wake up drained, unfocused, and craving even more sugar, a cycle that ages the brain faster over time. I remember one of my patients, Richard, a 70-year-old retired carpenter. Every night he'd sip a cola while watching the evening news. It felt comforting, but he started noticing memory lapses and restless sleep. When I asked him to skip that drink for just 2 weeks, he was skeptical. Yet 2 weeks later, he came back saying, "Doc, I feel sharper in the morning, and I'm finally sleeping through the night." Sometimes the fix really is that simple. The after-dinner trap feels harmless because it's wrapped in habit and comfort, but those drinks, wine, tea, coffee, soda, quietly interrupt your brain's nighttime cleanup. Imagine your brain like a janitor that works while you sleep, sweeping away toxins and clutter. When you add the wrong drink before bed, it's like locking that janitor out. The mess builds up, and each morning you feel a little slower, a little duller. So tonight, before you reach for that cup or glass, pause. Ask yourself, is this helping my brain rest or making it work harder? That's how you escape the after-dinner trap. And once you do, you'll be ready to understand what really happens inside your brain at night. Because in the next section, the nighttime brain shutdown, I'll show you how your brain tries to repair itself while you sleep and how the wrong drink can stop that process cold. Now let's look at what actually happens inside your brain while you sleep. This is one of the most fascinating and important things most people never hear about, especially for seniors. See, when you close your eyes at night, your brain doesn't go to sleep. It goes to work. Think of it like a nighttime cleaning crew. While you rest, your brain cells shrink slightly to make room for fluid to wash through your brain, sweeping out waste and toxins that build up during the day. One of those wastes is called beta amyloid, a sticky protein linked to memory loss and dementia. Here's the problem. If you've had alcohol, caffeine, or sugary drinks after dinner, that cleaning crew can't do its job. Alcohol might make you fall asleep faster, but it blocks your brain from entering deep restorative sleep, the phase where most of this cleaning happens. Instead of letting the cleaning crew sweep the halls, you've locked the doors. The result? The toxins stay behind and build up over time, slowing your thinking, dulling your focus, and making it harder to remember things clearly. Caffeine is another culprit. Even if you drink it hours before bedtime, it can keep parts of your brain from entering deep sleep. It's like having bright lights left on in a room where the janitor is trying to clean. The work gets interrupted, and nothing gets finished. As we get older, our brains naturally get less deep sleep. So any caffeine in your system only makes that worse. And let's not forget sugar. Late-night sweet drinks spike your blood sugar. And when that crash comes a few hours later, your body releases stress hormones like cortisol to bring your sugar back up. Those hormones jolt your brain awake, sometimes without you realizing it. You toss, you turn, and you wake up feeling like you barely slept. When I explain this to patients, their faces light up with recognition. They'll say, "That's exactly how I feel, like my brain never really rests." And they're right. It's not just sleep quantity that matters, it's sleep quality. The good news is that your brain can recover. When you stop drinking these things after dinner, deep sleep returns. The cleaning crew gets back to work, clearing away toxins, refreshing your mind, and sharpening your memory. That's when you start waking up clear-headed, steady, and calm again. Now that you understand how your brain works overnight, the next part will open your eyes even more. Because in sugar's midnight attack, you'll see how late-night sweet drinks do far more than just ruin sleep. They actually attack your brain's energy system itself. Here's something most people never realize. Your brain runs almost entirely on sugar. Not the kind you pour into your coffee, but the steady, natural glucose your body makes from healthy foods. It's your brain's fuel. But when you drink something sugary after dinner, maybe a soda, juice, or sweetened tea, you're flooding your system with a surge of artificial fuel at the exact time your brain is trying to rest. Here's what happens next. Your blood sugar shoots up fast, giving you that brief feeling of comfort or calm. But just a few hours later, your body panics. It releases insulin to lower the sugar, and suddenly your blood sugar crashes while you're asleep. Your brain senses this drop and thinks we're running out of energy. So it triggers a stress response, releasing hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, the same chemicals your body uses in emergencies. Instead of resting, your brain wakes into alert mode. That's why you might wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning, heart racing, unable to fall back asleep. Over time, these nightly sugar spikes and crashes wear down your brain's resilience. Studies show that seniors who regularly consume sweet drinks at night have higher risks of memory decline and slower reaction times. High sugar levels cause inflammation in the small blood vessels that feed the brain, reducing oxygen flow. Think of it like a garden hose. Sugar buildup clogs it, so less water or oxygen reaches the plants, your brain cells. The result is a slower, foggier mind in the morning. I had a patient, Clara, who loved her evening hot chocolate. She thought it helped her sleep, but after months of waking up exhausted, we tested her blood sugar. It was spiking every night. When she switched to unsweetened herbal tea instead, she told me, "It's like my brain finally woke up again." Sugar gives quick pleasure but steals long-term clarity. Every sweet sip before bed quietly trains your brain to run on chaos instead of calm. So tonight, skip the sugary comfort. Your brain will thank you in the morning with clearer thoughts, steadier mood, and deeper rest. Next, we'll uncover the dehydration confusion. And you'll see why even healthy drinks like juice or tea can leave your brain parched while you sleep. Here's something that surprises a lot of my patients. Not all liquids hydrate you. In fact, some of the drinks you think are helping your body stay hydrated before bed are actually draining your brain while you sleep. That's what I call the dehydration confusion. It happens when you reach for a healthy drink after dinner, like herbal tea, fruit juice, or even plain water in large amounts, thinking it will help you sleep better, but the truth is, timing matters just as much as what you drink. Let's start with juice. Most juices, even the ones labeled 100% natural, contain concentrated sugar. When you drink them late in the evening, your body works overtime to balance that sugar, which can make you lose more fluids through urine. So instead of hydrating your brain, juice actually pulls water out of your cells. By morning, you're not just thirsty, you're mentally sluggish. Your brain needs a precise level of hydration to send signals quickly. When that balance dips, even slightly, your thinking slows and your focus fades. Now, let's talk about tea. Many seniors sip tea after dinner to relax, especially green or black tea. But here's the catch. Both are mild diuretics, which means they make you lose water. Even decaf varieties can have trace caffeine and compounds that trigger your kidneys to flush out fluids. So while you may feel calm for an hour, your body is quietly preparing for a 2 a.m. bathroom trip, and your brain gets less rest because of it. And the next morning? That dry mouth, dizziness, or lightheaded feeling isn't just from age. It's mild dehydration affecting your brain's circulation. Even water can trick you if you overdo it right before bed. Your body needs hydration throughout the day, not in one big dose at night. Drinking too much right before sleep forces your bladder to stay active, breaking up the deep sleep cycles your brain depends on for repair. The solution? Hydrate smartly. Drink most of your fluids earlier in the day. In the evening, small sips are enough. If you crave something warm, try a caffeine-free herbal tea like chamomile or lemon balm. They soothe the nerves without depleting water. So remember this, hydration is about balance, not volume. The right fluids at the right time keep your brain alert and calm. The wrong ones, even healthy ones, can quietly rob you of rest. Up next, we'll look at the fog that follows morning. What happens when your brain never fully recovers from these nighttime habits, and how to lift that mental haze for good. If you've ever woken up feeling like your mind is still half asleep, even after a full night in bed, you've felt what I call the morning fog. It's that sluggish, heavy-headed feeling that makes you squint at the clock, move a little slower, and forget what you were about to do next. Many seniors blame it on aging, but most of the time it's not age at all. It's the lingering effect of what you drank the night before. Your brain works hard while you sleep. Every night it's supposed to go through cycles of deep cleaning and repair, but when alcohol, caffeine, or sugar interrupt that process, your brain wakes up unfinished, like a worker who left half the job undone. The result? You open your eyes in the morning, but your brain hasn't caught up. It's still trying to clear out the leftovers from the night before. That's why so many people say, "I slept 8 hours but still feel tired." The truth is, the number of hours doesn't matter as much as the quality of those hours. Alcohol is one of the biggest culprits here. Even one glass of wine or beer before bed suppresses REM sleep, the stage where memory and learning are stored. Without enough REM, your brain feels dull and slow. You might misplace your glasses more often, forget appointments, or feel emotionally off balance. I've had patients who thought they were developing early dementia only to discover that cutting out nightly drinks cleared their minds within weeks. Caffeine and sugar add their own layers to the fog. Caffeine, especially when consumed late in the day, delays the release of melatonin, your sleep hormone. That means you fall asleep later and spend less time in deep sleep. Meanwhile, sugar sends your blood sugar on a roller coaster all night long. When it drops, your brain releases stress hormones to correct it, jerking you out of sleep without you realizing it. That's why you can wake up on time, but still feel like your thoughts are moving through mud. I remember one patient, Linda, a 74-year-old retired teacher who came to me complaining about morning confusion. She said, "Doctor, I feel like my brain boots up slower every morning." We reviewed her habits: no smoking, plenty of walks, healthy meals. But then she mentioned her bedtime tea. It was a black tea blend she'd been drinking for decades. Once she swapped it for a caffeine-free herbal tea, the change was dramatic. 2 weeks later, she told me, "I didn't realize how foggy I'd been until it lifted. I feel awake again." Morning fog isn't just frustrating. It can be dangerous. It affects balance, reaction time, and attention. That means a higher risk of falls, slower driving reflexes, and forgetfulness that can affect daily safety. But the good news is this: once you remove those brain-draining drinks from your evenings, clarity starts returning quickly. Your brain's natural rhythm resets, and you'll notice mornings start feeling lighter, easier, and calmer. So if your mornings have felt dull or slow lately, don't just blame age. Look at what's in your cup after dinner. Every sip you skip brings your brain one step closer to clear, steady mornings again. Now that we've lifted the fog, let's replace those harmful habits with something better. In the next section, the Safe Soothe Ritual, we'll talk about what you can drink at night. Simple, calming options that protect your brain, improve sleep, and help you wake up clear and refreshed. Let's imagine something together. You open your eyes in the morning, and instead of that heavy, cloudy feeling you used to have, you feel clear. Your mind is sharp. You stretch, take a deep breath, and feel rested. Really rested. That's not just a nice thought. That's what happens when your brain finally gets the kind of sleep it's been craving for years. See, when you stop feeding your body and brain the wrong drinks after dinner, you're giving your system permission to reset. The alcohol isn't blocking deep sleep anymore. The caffeine isn't keeping your nerves on alert. The sugar isn't sending your blood pressure on a nighttime roller coaster. Your brain can finally do its job, repairing, cleaning, and restoring every part of you. It's like giving your mind a fresh coat of paint after years of wear and tear. I've watched this transformation in so many of my patients. There was Joseph, 78, who said he could never sleep without his nightly glass of wine. When he stopped, he called me 2 weeks later and said, "Doc, I don't even need an alarm clock anymore. I wake up full of energy." And there was Clara, who used to sip sweet tea before bed because it reminded her of home. Once she replaced it with chamomile, she told me, "It feels like my brain finally takes a deep breath at night." These small changes turn their tired mornings into powerful new beginnings. Your brain is not old. It's alive, working, and capable of healing. Every night you give it proper rest, it rewards you the next day with better memory, steadier mood, and sharper focus. Think of it like tuning a beautiful instrument. When it's out of tune, even the best song sounds off. But when you care for it, the music returns, and everything feels in harmony again. Now I want you to remember this. Aging doesn't mean decline. It means adjustment. Your body and brain are still full of life. They just need a little extra care to stay strong. And one of the simplest, most powerful steps you can take begins tonight. Look at your evening routine. Ask yourself what's in your glass. Then make one small change. Skip the wine, skip the soda, skip the sweet tea or decaf coffee. Instead, reach for something that soothes, not something that strains. Do that for 1 week and notice how you feel. Your sleep will be deeper, your mornings will be clearer, and that fog that's been following you around will start to lift. You'll walk steadier, think faster, and smile more, because your brain will finally be rested and nourished again. If this helped you understand what's really been happening inside your body, then keep going. These small choices can truly transform how you age. And if you'd like to keep learning how to stay strong, sharp, and independent, make sure you subscribe and join me for our next talk. Until then, take care of your brain. It's the most important part of you. Have a healthy body, and I'll see you in the next video.